bills also that have been lined up for debate for the second reading.
First order. Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions.
The Honorable Senator Dr. Lelegwe. Mr. Speaker, sir,
On behalf of the petitioners, I present this public petition on prolonged acting appointments, staffing challenges, and working conditions of teachers in Samburu County. We, the undersigned citizens of Kenya and professional educators serving in public schools within Samburu County, draw the attention of the Senate to the following. 1, that the prolonged periods ranging between 3 years to 7 years, a significant number of teachers in Samburu County have been serving in acting capacities as school principals and deputies without formal confirmation, promotion, or commensurate remuneration. 2, that despite the absence of the formal appointment, these teachers continue to discharge full administrative, financial, and academic responsibilities equivalent to substantive office holders, including institutional leadership, staff suspension, and performance accountability. 3, that the affected teachers continue to receive lower salaries and are denied responsibilities,
allowances, resulting in financial disadvantage and inequity within the teaching service. 4, that the schools in Samburu County, being part of the arid and semi-arid lands, operate under extremely challenging conditions characterized by
inadequate infrastructure, limited teaching and learning resources, teacher shortages, insecurity in some areas, and poor road and communication networks. 5, that the teachers in acting capacities are subjected to double burden, being required to teach while simultaneously managing administrative duties without formal recognition and responsibilities allowances, whereby affecting efficiency, institutional stability, and overall education outcomes. 6, that the prolonged acting appointments have resulted in career stagnation, professional demoralization, reduced morale among teachers, and inequitable treatment compared to their counterparts in other regions. 7, that the dire situation of acting principals has adversely affected the quality of education administration, leading to inconsistent school leadership,
poor administrative performance, increased principal turnover, low morale and burnout,
reduced retention of acting principals in senior schools, disruption of schools programs during abrupt administrative transitions. 8, that despite numerous appeals to the Teacher Service Commission and other relevant authorities, the matter remains unresolved, whereby denying teachers their rightful career progression and benefits. 9, that this prolonged inaction amounts to violation of principles of fair labor practices under Article 41 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, as well as the state's obligation under Article 10, 27, and 56 to promote equity and protect marginalized regions. 10, that the issues raised in this petition are not pending before any court of law or constitutional body. 11, that the petitioners have made efforts to have this matter addressed administratively through the Kenya Secondary School Heads Association, Samburu branch, to the Teachers Service Commission, but no satisfactory response has been received to date. Wherefore, your humble petitioners pray that the Senate, 1, inquires into the prolonged acting appointments of teachers in Samburu County and establishes the extent and causes of delays in confirmation and promotion. 2, directs the Teacher Service Commission to facilitate immediate confirmation and promotion of all qualified teachers serving in acting capacities. 3, recommends payment of all accrued responsibility allowances and salary arrears for the period served in acting positions. 4, recommends development and enforcement of a clear policy framework limiting the duration of acting appointments within the teaching service. 5, recommends targeted intervention to improve working conditions in ASAL regions, including provision of infrastructure, staffing, and incentives for teachers. 6, ensure equitable deployment and staffing of teachers to reduce workload and enhance quality of education in Samburu County. 7, recommends a policy and legislative measures to protect teachers serving in leadership and marginalized areas for systemic neglect, and make any other recommendations or takes an action of it deems fit to address the plight of teachers in Samburu County and improve education outcomes. And your petitioners will ever pray. The petitioners list is there with their signatures and details. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable senators, pursuant to Standing Order 238-1, I commit the petition to the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources, and in terms of Standing Order 238-2, the committee is required in not more than 60 calendar days from the time of reading the prayer, which is today, to table its reports in the Senate for consideration. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Chairperson, Standing Committee on Health.
I beg to lay the following paper on the table of Senate today, Thursday, 2nd April 2026, report of the Standing Committee on Health regarding its consideration of Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill, National Assembly Bill, number 19, 2022. Thank you.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Senator Karungo Thangwa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to give notice of a motion titled Promotion of Artificial Intelligence, AI, and Innovation in Kenya. That aware that the fourth industrial revolution is redefining economies globally through emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, blockchain, and financial technology, fintech. Further aware that Kenya has made commendable strides in digital infrastructure and mobile innovation, positioning itself as a potential leader in Africa's tech-driven future, noting that in a landmark decision, the African Union Executive Council endorsed the Continental AI Strategy during its 45th ordinary session in Accra, Ghana, on July 18th and 19th, 2024, to underscore Africa's commitment to an Africa-centric development-focused approach to AI, promoting ethical, responsible, and equitable practices. Cognizant that the continental AI strategy calls for unified national approaches among AU members states to navigate the opportunities of AI-driven change, aiming to strengthen regional and global cooperation and position Africa as a leader in inclusive and responsible AI development. Appreciating that, the Ministry of Information, Communication and the Digital Economy recently formulated and launched the Kenya National Artificial Intelligence AI Strategy 2025 to 2030, recognizing the need to align Kenya's development with global standards in AI adoption while also safeguarding national values, inclusivity and employment, concerned that the absence of comprehensive framework may hinder innovation among local startups and youth-led tech enterprises and slow down Kenya's ability to harness AI for inclusive growth. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves that the Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy develops a policy to promote artificial intelligence and emerging technologies with particular emphasis on, 1, promoting research and development of locally relevant AI solutions, 2, facilitating ethical guidelines to ensure responsible and beneficial application of AI, 3, creating innovation-friendly sandboxes for supervised testing of AI and emerging technologies, 4, strengthening public-private partnerships to build digital skills and innovation ecosystems, and 5, integrating AI and coding into the education curriculum to prepare the next generation for the digital economy. Mr. Speaker, I give notice.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Before I call honorable senators to make the request, allow me to pass this communication. I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon of a visiting delegation from the United States of America. The delegation comprises of members of the African Youth Leadership Forum who are on a 9-month fellowship program. Their visit is aimed at connecting with friends of the USA Prayer Breakfast in Kenya and learning how Kenyan leaders grow in the journey of following Jesus Christ and leading with faith and purpose. They also volunteer at the National Prayer Breakfast and at the Capitol Hill. The delegation is in the Senate on a courtesy call to Senator Daniel Manzo, MP. Honorable Senators, I request each member of the delegation to stand when called out so that they may be acknowledged in the Senate tradition. Mr. Jackson Eugene Thompson. Mr. Benjamin Kersey Brages. Mr. Davis Manzo Kitonga. Mr. Gabriel Odhiambo Achayo. Honorable Senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming guests to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I will request the Senator for Makueni to extend a word of welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to welcome the young men to the Senate. Mr. Speaker, there's a program, just like we have here, whereby university students or young graduates work and get attached to the Capitol Hill and have an opportunity to interact with the senators and congressmen. And the program runs either for 10 days or between 10 days and 9 months. And a lot of these young people, Mr. Speaker, are able to interact with the leadership, volunteer, learn a lot, and have an opportunity to travel to different countries. So I do welcome them to Kenya, and hope that they are going to enjoy the session, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Request for statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1. The Honorable Senator Catherine Muma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of national concern relating the challenges affecting the implementation of the country's health insurance framework under the Social Health Authority. Mr. Speaker, the Constitution under Article 43 guarantees every Kenyan the right to the highest attainable standard of health. The Social Health Insurance Fund, SHIF, is intended to anchor the government's efforts towards universal health coverage. Despite its central role in facilitating access to healthcare services, the system continues to face operational difficulties, including digital system outages, delays in the claim settlements, uncertainty regarding empaneled facilities and covered services, and concerns raised by healthcare providers and patients across the country. In this regard, the committee should address the following. 1, the status of the digital system supporting the Social Health Authority, including the causes of recurring system outages, any vulnerabilities or breaches linked to fraudulent claims, losses incurred, if any, and measures taken to stabilize and secure the system. 2, the status of investigations and legal action relating to fraudulent claims under the Social Health Authority, including reasons for delays in prosecuting where applicable. 3, the criteria and procedures used to empanel healthcare facilities, measures in place to enable the public to identify approved facilities, and the strategies being employed to enhance public awareness and access to share information, particularly for citizens who may not access digital platforms. 4, measures in place to safeguard patient access to care, including support for survivors of defilement and other forms of gender-based violence, covering access to post-exposure prophylaxis, treatment for sexually transmitted diseases, infections, medical care for child pregnancies, including psychosocial support and related services, and whether systems exist to track such cases and link them with the relevant security and administrative agencies. Senator Catherine Muma, nominated senator.
Senator for Nyandarua County, the Honorable John Maithu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm doing this on behalf of Senator Medhu, Senator of Nyandarua. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on a matter of nationwide concern regarding the impact of the Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA, enforcement of the Electronic Tax Invoice Management System, ATIMS, and tax recovery policies on contractors and business operators across the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, many taxpayers, particularly contractors undertaking government projects, continue to face punitive tax enforcement action, even where payments due to them from ministries, departments, agencies, and county governments remain outstanding. This has exposed affected taxpayers to agency notices, withdrawal of tax compliance certificates, TCCs, suspension of PINs, penalties, and other administrative sanctions, notwithstanding that the delays arise from non-payment by government entities. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is unacceptable that genuine taxpayers and contractors who have invested their resources in executing government projects should be subjected to enforcement measures for non-payment of taxes tied to funds they have never received. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1. The E-Team's enforcement and recovery policy that has been in effect, including the legal or policy framework under which it was operationalized. 2. The basis for the suspension of individual taxpayers, that is, personal identification numbers, PINs, upon inclusion in the special table, including data on the number of taxpayers affected since the year 2020. 3. The criteria used by KRA in issuing agency notices, withdrawing tax compliance certificates, TCCs, and classifying taxpayers as non-compliant. 4. Data on the number of taxpayers subjected to agency notices, TCC withdrawals, or E-Team suspension in the last 2 financial years, including the total amounts involved. Number 5, whether KRA takes into account pending government bills, currently estimated at over Kenya shillings 700 billion, before enforcing VAT remittances or penalties against contractors whose payments are delayed by government, and whether KRA officers are guided by any internal policy that allows them to exercise discretion and consider taxpayers' financial circumstances on a case-by-case basis. And finally, 6, measures taken by KRA and the National Treasury to cushion contractors working with national and county governments from punitive enforcement actions in cases of delayed government payment, including legislative or policy interventions to ensure humane tax enforcement. Statement by Senator John Mohia Medhu, Senator for Nyandarua. I read on behalf. Thank you.
The Honorable Senator for Embu County, the Honorable Alexander Mundiki.
Mr. Speaker, sir, request for statement on the discovery of minerals in Embu County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to check a statement from the Standing Committee on Lands, Environment and Natural Resources on matter of county-wide concern regarding the reported discovery of mineral resources within Embu County following recent geological surveys and assessment undertaken by the government through an aerial geographical survey done in 2022 and 2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is understood that various mineral occurrences, including strategic minerals, have been identified in Kiangongoro Hill, in Mafuria Ward, Bere South, Sub-County, Embu County. This development have generated considerable interest, expectations, and concern among local communities and stakeholders regarding potential economic benefit, environmental implications, and resources ownership. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the current status of verification, mapping, and comprehensive assessment of the identified mineral deposit in Embu County. 2, the State Department for Mining plans regarding further exploration, licensing, and eventual extraction of the identified minerals. 3, the indicative timeline within which excavation or commercial mining activities if any, are expected to commence, and the measures being put in place to ensure mineral local community participation, environmental protection and sustainability, and equitable sharing of benefit arising from the exploitation of these resources. Senator Mundigi, Embu County, Doctor.
Senator for Machakos County, the Honorable Agnes Kavendu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. I have two statements. Request for statement on the non-payment of gratuity to 33 former employees of Machakos County government. Mr. Speaker, sir, I arise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Labor and Social Welfare on matter of countrywide concern regarding the non-payment of gratuity to 33 former employees of County Government of Machakos. Mr. Speaker, sir, the affected former employees of the County Government of Machakos diligently served between the year 2015 to 2022 under contracts that expressly provided for gratuity and part of their terminal benefits, with regular deductions made from their salaries, despite termination of their dues. The gratuity remains unpaid. Mr. Speaker, can you protect me from senators? Thank you. These three senators before me. The gratuity remains unpaid for several months, and in some cases, years, with employment terms and the welfare of the affected years after their exit, raising serious concerns about accountability, compliance with employment terms, and the welfare of the affected individuals. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the reason for the failure by the county government of Machakos to pay the gratuity to the 33 former employees, despite deductions having been made from their salaries. 2, the current status and whereabouts of their deduction gratuity funds, including whether the funds were set aside, remitted, or otherwise utilized. 3, the measures the county government has put in place to ensure payment of the outstanding gratuity and the timelines of the settlement of the same. 4, the steps being taken by the relevant oversight and regulatory bodies to ensure compliance by county government with employment contracts and protection of employees' terms and benefits. 5, the measures being implemented to safeguard county employees across the country from delayed or non-payment of their gratuity other terminal benefits. Senator Agnes Kavindu Mudhama MP, Senator Machakos County. I'll read the second one. Request for statement on the deteriorating condition of Mulolongo Market in Machakos County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement
from the Standing Committee of Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations
on a matter of countrywide concerns regarding the deterioration condition of Mulolongo Market in Machakos County. Mr. Speaker, sir, Mulolongo Market is a vital commercial hub within the Nairobi metropolitan region, supporting thousands of traders, including small-scale vendors and mama mbogas. The market continues to face severe infrastructural challenges such as poor sanitation, inadequate waste management mechanism, blocked drainage systems, muddy access routes, and insufficient public utilities. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the measures undertaken by the county government to improve sanitation, waste management, and drainage within Mulolongo Market. 2, whether the funds have been allocated.
Was reported, and the measures undertaken to trace his last known movement in further estate and Runda areas. Number 2, progress of identification of any suspect or criminal networks or organized groups in connection with this and similar abductions, and actions being taken to apprehend and prosecute those responsible. Number 3, the timeliness within which the government can provide to the family, the public a report regarding the whereabouts and the safety of the victim. Number 4, immediate and long-term intervention being implemented by the ministry to curb cases of abduction and enforced disappearances. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Yusuf. The chair of the committee. Is it security?
Yes,
Leader Russell.
Mr. Speaker, I will respond in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Yes, you are not here when there was a request from the Kericho Women Rep, and I directed that next week on Thursday, your committee and Committee on Health, you bring a report on the 33 bodies that were buried in a mass grave in Kericho.
Most obliged, Mr.
You work jointly with Health. It's a security issue, it's a health issue. Bernard Kitur, member for Nandi Hills.
Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the poor road design of Mombasa-Malindi Highway, specifically at Kadzengo area. Honorable Speaker, the Mombasa-Malindi Highway is a key route that serves the coastal region, facilitating the transportation of goods and passengers and fostering trade and tourism. However, the highway, particularly the section at Kadzengo, critical road safety features, including properly designed speed bumps, clear road markings, and substandard signage. This has exposed motorists and other road users to safety risks. Since the completion of the road, multiple accidents on the road have been attributed to the poor design of the road, especially the absence of visible road markings and signage. In fact, on the 10th of April 2025, a 25-year-old Mr. Hezron Kiprotich of ID number 3831-7443 lost his life in a road accident at Katsengo area. Road users have raised concerns severally about missing signages and lack of traffic safety infrastructure, yet remedial action has not been taken to date. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. Number one, plans by the Ministry of Roads and Transport to install proper signages and additional safety interventions, such as reflective road signage and lighting in the Katsengo area section to reduce the risks of accidents along the Mombasa-Malindi Highway. Number two, the expected timelines for the completion of the installation of these road safety measures and design corrections. And finally, Honorable Speaker, plans by the ministry to compensate the family of the late Mr. Hezron Kiprotich and measures in place to support victims of accidents caused by poor road infrastructure. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair Transport, Majority Leader Naomi. And, Komingo is there, sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think let's report together with the other statement in 2 weeks' time.
Okay. Abdul Haro, member from Mandera South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to request for Mandera County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding the condition and operationalization of Kutulo Airstrip in Mandera County. Honorable Speaker, the Kutulo Airstrip was constructed in 2019 to serve the residents of Mandera South and Tarbaj constituencies, as well as neighboring towns including Korovharar, Wajir, Gunana, Takaba, Elwak, and other adjacent regions. Despite its strategic importance in ensuring connectivity in northern Kenya, Kutulo Airstrip is currently non-operational. The continued non-utilization of the airstrip has led to its deterioration, negatively impacting connectivity and socio-economic development in northern Kenya. Operationalization of the airstrip would facilitate access to essential services, reduce travel time to northern Kenya, and promote trade and investment in the region. Further, in a region prone to emergencies including drought, floods, and insecurity, a functional airstrip would enable rapid humanitarian response and evacuation, especially when road infrastructure becomes inadequate or impassable. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. 1. A report on the status of Kutulo Airstrip, including the total cost incurred in its construction and the reason for its current non-operational status, including any legal, regulatory, or administrative constraints. 2. The measures put in place by the Ministry of Roads and Transport to rehabilitate, upgrade, and operationalize Kutulo Airstrip, including budgetary allocations and expected completion times. And 3, steps being taken to safeguard existing infrastructure at the airstrip from further deterioration pending its operationalization. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Harold. Chair Transport, Komingoi. Chair Transport, pay attention.
Yes, sir. Yes, Honorable Speaker.
When can you bring a response?
In 2 weeks, Honorable Speaker, and I'm also reminded some of the questions, like the question for Kitur, lapsed in the other session while we had a response already. So maybe you can consolidate them so that we can be able to submit them in the 2 weeks.
That's all right, 2 weeks it is. Majority Leader, your Thursday statement. Where is the Majority Leader? Naomi, are you ready? He was consulting behind here. Majority Leader. Your Thursday statement.
Sorry, Honorable Speaker, I had consultations at the back there with the chairs of committees. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 1st April 2026, to prioritize business for consideration during the week and the business coming before the House in the following week. Honorable Speaker, I wish to officially welcome members back from the just concluded short recess and commend the committees for diligently utilizing the recess to finalize on priority business that was referred to them before proceeding on the recess. Allow me, Honorable Speaker, to singularly laud the Public Petitions Committee for the exemplary work done during the recess by prioritizing the consideration of various public petitions. You may recall that yesterday, Wednesday, 1st April, the chairperson of the committee tabled a record 15 reports on public petition that have been pending before it. I urge all other committees who are here to finalize their pending business to emulate this dedication and expedite consideration of such pending business. With regard to business scheduled for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to continue with consideration of the following bills, should they not be concluded today. One is the Fisheries Management and Development Bill of 2023, and I see the chair of the committee is present, the Honorable Kangogo. Two is the Forest Conservation and Management Amendment Bill of 2025, and three, the Quality Healthcare and Patient Safety Bill of 2025. Additionally, Honorable Speaker, the House will continue with the consideration of the following motions should they not be concluded in the course of business today. One, Draft Salaries and Remuneration Commission, Remuneration and Benefits of State and Other Public Officers, Regulations of 2025. Two, ukaguzi kwa asasi zisizo huru kikamilifu za Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki na ushoroba wa kati katika Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Reports of the Kenya delegation to the 147th, 148th, and 149th and 150th Assemblies of the Interparliamentary Union and related meetings. 4, consideration of the Public Finance Management State Officers and Public Officers Motor Car Loan Scheme Fund, Amendment Regulations of 2025. 5, consideration of the Public Finance Management Wildlife Conservation Trust Fund, Regulations of 2025. 6, consideration of a petition regarding delay in resettlement of squatters under the Chepkumia Land Exchange Program. 7, 10th report of the audited accounts of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund for specified constituencies for the financial years 2016-2017 to 2021-2022. 8 is the 5th report on the audited accounts of various state corporations in Western Region for the financial years 2018-2019 to 2020-2021. 9 is the 11th report on the audited accounts of the National Government Constituency Development Fund for specified constituencies for the financial years 2016-2017 to 2021-2022. 10 is the 7th report on the audited accounts of various state corporations for the financial years 2018-2019 to 2020-2021. And lastly, inquiry into the pricing of tea in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, I note that various bills referred to mediation committees are still pending consideration. In this regard, I urge members of the National Assembly appointed to mediation committees and the chairs designated to lead those mediation committees or to co-chair on respective bills to engage our Senate counterparts with a view to prioritizing the pending mediation processes on the affected bills. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the House Business Committee,
Majority Leader, I would direct you to get in touch with your counterpart in the Senate.
Yes.
And meet all designated co-chairs of mediation committees on various bills. Some have gone for 6 months, if not more.
Some over here.
Some over here.
I will do that. Also obliged, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I was saying in conclusion, on behalf of the House Business Committee, and indeed on my own behalf, allow me to take this opportunity to wish all members a happy Easter. And the House Business Committee shall reconvene on Tuesday, 7th April 2026 to schedule business for the rest of that week. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House, and thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, with your indulgence, as you very well noted yesterday, Honorable Speaker, the Committee on Public Petitions has done exemplary well, and we must commend this Public Petitions Committee and the new chair, the Honorable Karemba Musangi, because they concluded 15 reports over the recess period. That is why, Honorable Speaker, when we say that the short recesses are usually working recesses, besides all the other departmental committees and the Budget and Appropriations Committee that were very busy during the short recess, considering the supplementary budget that we began consideration of yesterday, the Public Petitions Committee has also set a very good example, and we want to encourage all other committees, and indeed, Speaker, as you have rightly said, to also engage our counterparts in the Senate on pending business before the committees for bills that have been referred for mediation. I have particularly in mind the Committee for Agriculture, the Food and Feed Safety Bill, which I think is a 2023 bill that is still in mediation between the two houses.
I want to urge members, as much as I know we are going on a short break for Easter,
and I know many of us may not be working this short recess. Or it's not a short recess, it's a short break for Easter. But let us take time to rest those 4 days. I know it is the usual break that we usually break Friday to Monday, but this being Easter period, let us also take time to join fellow Christians in our churches and continue encouraging our church leaders and our clergy to continue praying for this nation, praying for leaders. And those leaders are you who are elected by the people. But also, Honorable Speaker, because I've heard the clergy being asked not to meddle in politics. And they have been accused of having prayed administrations into office. Honorable Speaker, it's important to say that the clergy and the church has a cardinal responsibility to pray not just for leaders, but also for the country. And should prayers be answered in a way that does God to answer prayers according to his will. We never pray to God to answer our prayers according to individuals' will. Therefore, he who is unhappy because prayers were not answered as he desired, I would plead with him, please, it is time to heal. It is time to heal. And accept that the will of God can never be the will of man. And there shall never be a time that the people in this country will worship a man or indeed worship a family. It will never happen. Therefore, allow the people of Kenya church in prayers for the nation, prayers for the president, prayers for the leaders, like the leaders who are in this house and others out there. Because we cannot demonize the church and accuse the church of having misled the nation because you think they did not pray for you to succeed where you wanted to succeed. Please heal. It is time to heal and move on. Honorable Speaker, I say that because I am a Christian. And I know when I pray and I plead to my God to guide and lead me, I leave it to God to do his will. I may have my will and my desire, but I cannot superimpose that on God, leave alone the people of Kenya. And I have seen there's somebody now who wants to superimpose his will and his desires on the people of Kenya and even on God and force the church to pray the way he wants them to pray. Honorable Speaker, I say that with immense respect to those who may imagine that they sit in a place where God sits. My brother, you are a human being like everybody else. Your desire, your will is not the will of God. Therefore, accept, move on, and heal. It is good for you, it is good for the country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Majority Leader, I should remind them that God has never suffered from memory loss.
Indeed, Honorable Speaker, that quotable quote came from you.
Yes.
That the Almighty God has never suffered from memory loss.
Yes.
And that God that we prayed for and our religious leaders led us to pray to is still the God we have on the throne today.
Absolutely.
And therefore they should relax. Yes. I know they accuse people of having made mistakes, but the people also never make mistakes. The people elect the leaders that they want, not the leaders that you want as a person. You may want somebody else, the people want somebody else, and you must accept and move on.
Thank you. Next order. Order number 8.
Order number 8, the Supplementary Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 16 of 2026, second reading.
Honorable members, we have a supplementary order paper. At order number 8, the attentive members, at order number 8, the appropriation bill on supplementary is exactly a regurgitation of what you debated last evening up to 9:10 on the motion on supplementary estimates. So I will allocate this bill only 30 minutes. Anybody who has issues, you can prosecute them at order number 9, Committee of the Whole. That's when you will scrutinize and look at the supplementary appropriation bill and pass the minute details therein. So member for Alego Usonga, you're invited to move the second reading, line up your seconder, and in 30 minutes, we go to Committee of the Whole, if not less. Yes, what's your point of order, Jared? Yes, Jared.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you've given a very good direction as regards the allocated amount of time to discuss this. I would seek your indulgence that you also go a little further and give everybody 2 minutes, because many would be interested in discussing this, and therefore as many as can be accommodated.
Unless you want to be tautologous.
Yeah.
You know what tautology means?
Yes.
Unless you want to be tautologous.
Yeah.
I was in the chamber watching. Almost everybody who was here spoke on supplementary yesterday. Yeah. This bill is exactly the same thing. Yeah. And it's improper use of time to repeat yourselves over and over the same thing.
Yeah, I understand, yeah.
The best prosecution of this matter is at order number 9.
Correct.
For those who have issues, and veterans like Kenan can tell you that those who missed issues in the motion yesterday can deal with them at committee stage.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Sure. So that is
But
the
I
guidance
agree with you
from
that those who want to speak to this, 2 minutes will be even more than enough. Yes, Atandi?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to move that the Supplementary Appropriations Bill, Assembly Bill number 16 of 2026, be now read a second time. Honorable Speaker, as you have rightfully guided, yesterday the House spent more than 6 hours discussing and approving the supplementary estimates 1 for 2025-2026 financial year. And I want to, first of all, thank the members who stayed late into the House up to 9 p.m. to give us the approval for the same.
Actually, the House rose at 9:10.
Yes, 9:10. And Honorable Speaker, as you have rightfully said, the appropriations bill is the same as the estimates, supplementary estimates which we passed yesterday. So the appropriations bill is basically to give the government powers to withdraw the same from the consolidated fund. And this is really what we are really asking for members to give us the approval so that the government can be able to move with speed and begin to spend the resources. Honorable Speaker, I just want to repeat that the estimates as were discussed yesterday included an increase of 232, 427, 326, 355, as in respect to the votes that were contained in the first schedule. Honorable Speaker, the schedules will be brought to the House shortly. In the next few minutes, the schedules will be here and members will be able to go through them. But overall, the supplementary estimates approved an increase of 316.7 billion. This is an increase of about 7% of the main budget which we passed. Because, Honorable Speaker, the budget was passed at 4.3 trillion. Now, with these supplementary estimates, we are now going to have a budget of 4.6 trillion. Honorable Speaker, overall, that is basically the increase that we are approving, the resources we are approving to be spent under the supplementary one. Honorable Speaker, as I explained yesterday, we have been discussing these estimates as a House with all committees. And one thing that is coming out from the estimates is that we are not making changes on our development vote. And all the projects that were passed in this House for this financial year have been protected. And when I spoke to National Treasury, I confirmed that resources have been released to the agencies to implement the programs. And even as members go for recess, your projects are going on the ground. And I want to urge members to be attentive in your constituencies so that development projects in your constituencies, you take care of them, you monitor them, you own them, because development is legislated here in the House. I want to urge members that in the past I have seen governors taking advantage of projects that are funded by national government in your constituencies. I want to alert members that these projects are yours. And if there's any project that we have approved on this House implemented in your constituency, you must be able to take charge to ensure that we promote the good of the broad-based government. Honorable Speaker, I don't want to speak more. I don't want to speak more because I want to allow members who are not here yesterday to be able to ventilate. My Vice Chairman, I can't see my Vice Chairman here. Therefore, I would like to ask the Leader of Majority to second.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to second this motion for adoption of supplementary appropriations bill for the first supplementary of this financial year. Honorable Speaker, there's nothing much to say because we said this in second reading of the report. But as I indicated in second reading of the report, quite a number of sectors are benefiting from this supplementary budget. Top among them, our university students who are getting an extra 15.4 billion shillings going towards the Higher Education Loans Board and the University Funding Board to ensure that no child
misses an opportunity to access higher education. There is also money going to the primary healthcare fund.
A lot of money also going to make sure that every Kenyan who accesses a primary health care facility, whether it is public or private, and that facility is enlisted under SHA, and also the patient who is visiting that hospital is registered under SHA, they get primary health care at no cost or at the cost of the taxpayer or the government of Kenya, since that money that is being paid in the primary health care fund